The governor denied it's a pre-baked process. He called their work tireless and transparent, but even more telling, the governor said he's not pushing this because of National Democratic Party pressure. Quote, "I don't move on what a party boss thinks is a good idea. I move on what is best for the people of this state."
The political firestorm over redistricting in Maryland has residents like Fran worrying it'll distract leaders from tackling other important issues.
Crime, juvenile justice, women's rights.
Probably affordability is probably the biggest thing across the board. I would say housing affordability is just like kind of crushing a lot of people right now.
Some believe redistricting should be done on a national, not a local level.
So I think it'd be great if we had a neutral redistricting commission or something like that. But otherwise, it's just going to be a battle.
The governor disagrees.
I think the people of our state expect us to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time.
Governor Moore's Redistricting Advisory Commission is moving forward with a plan to redraw the state's congressional lines. Following several public meetings, it is now asking residents to submit maps over the next 2 weeks. It will then send one to the General Assembly for consideration. A new map could make the district of lone Republican Andy Harris more competitive. The Democrats want to win a majority of congressional seats to reverse decisions made by the current Republican majority.
I think the people of our state both expect them to protect their democracy and to protect their pocketbooks.
Senate President Bill Ferguson is a member of the Advisory Commission. He opposes redrawing the maps. He says the meetings confirmed a large majority of Marylanders oppose mid-cycle redistricting. He questions why the state AG or local boards of elections didn't participate. In a statement, the Senate president writes, "Clearly, the commission's work was predetermined, irresponsible, and lacks transparency." The governor was asked whether he's being pressured by National Democratic Party leaders to push the issue.
We haven't really even had conversations with people on the national level about how Maryland's going to move. I don't listen to party bosses. Party bosses don't determine how I move. And party bosses and national people will not determine how Maryland moves.
State House Republicans call the commission a farce put together to solve a problem that doesn't exist. The Maryland Freedom Caucus says the mid-cycle gerrymander is a reckless Hail Mary that will likely backfire in court. The Senate President's office predicts if a bill is drafted, it will become lost in a Senate Rules Committee drawer. Reporting live from the newsroom, David Collins, WBAL TV 11 News.